2023. The year of the long-awaited sequel to Breath of the Wild is upon us. Yes, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is less than 5 months away from being released. Unless there is another random delay out of nowhere. But fingers crossed, hopefully that isn't the case. Please, Nintendo. And I honestly can't deny that even after 6 years between games, it still feels surreal that we're even this close. I guess it doesn't help that since the game was officially announced in E3 of 2019, we've only received 3 trailers on the game. And each trailer has been far too short and way too cryptic to even understand what the sequel really has in store for us. Like really, how are we 5 months away when we know so little about the game? Will Nintendo be dropping a bombshell of new information in the coming months? Or is Nintendo trying to keep the game vague, not to spoil anything on it? It's interesting to think about, because up until the last trailer we received, we didn't even know the title of the game. It was just known as the sequel to Breath of the Wild, but I guess that is all we really need to know to sell us on the game, right? Still, I can't help but wonder why Nintendo has been so secretive on the marketing for this game. When compared to Breath of the Wild's marketing, we knew pretty much the entire game before it was even released thanks to the many trailers Nintendo showed us. From Link's Resurrection, to the 4 Divine Beasts, to overall the main gameplay objective. I actually made videos on all of these before the game was even out. Yet this time around, we really aren't given much from these trailers, and we're left to speculate on almost everything when it comes to the sequel. It honestly made this already very large gap feel even longer, as we're given almost nothing to work with until release. Which is why I kinda find it hard to believe we're really this close to the final game. Though I really hope the only reason behind this is that Nintendo just wants to refrain from any major reveals until release, rather than they don't have really much to show. The producer of the series, Eiji Aonuma, did state before that one of the reasons and why they didn't even reveal the title of the game until somewhat recently was to avoid any spoilers of the game. So clearly Nintendo wanted to keep the game under wraps until the game was almost ready to go. But I'm sure many fans don't really see how the name Tears of the Kingdom really spoils anything. A kingdom that weeps for their land? A land that has been taken over by the Great Calamity? Seems like that title would have fit Breath of the Wild even, as this title doesn't really seem to give us anything new. But I think the title is a bit deeper than just that. As thanks to the latest trailer that did reveal the title then, I believe it also gave us a better understanding of what the real meaning behind it is. See, tears in Tears of the Kingdom is the key word here, as I think the term tears doesn't just mean the sorrow and despair for its kingdom, but something much more. To preface, the concept of tears, and it being a tangible item, has made its way into the series before. From the sacred tears in Skyward Sword, which Link had to collect within each Silent Realm in order to be rewarded with the legendary weapon, while also avoiding some of the most terrifying enemies ever. Yes, these guardians are way more threatening than Breath of the Wild's if you ask me. Or the Tears of Light from Twilight Princess, that were collected into the Vessel of Light, used to revive the Spirit of Light and remove the Twilight fog covering that area. Clearly these tears held a divine power that helped Link throughout his adventures. And the concept of a tear being a significant item even goes back to Majora's Mask with the Moon's Tear. Clearly the concept of tears having spiritual and magical properties aren't new to the series, and I believe must also have a connection in Tears of the Kingdom. Because as mentioned, we've seen examples of that in the little bits of footage we've seen of the game so far. As in the beginning of the most recent trailer, during the cryptic hieroglyphs shown, we see an unknown being surrounded by 7 tears. This could indicate 7 tears that Link must recover, and they could act as the main reward for the main 7 dungeons. similar to how Link has had to rescue the 7 sages from their respective dungeons in many games prior in the series. Maybe these tears are our new objective, as they are the tears of the kingdom. And see, with that context, the title does make sense in a different way, as you're collecting these spiritual tears that are tied to the kingdom. We've also seen a close-up of an actual teardrop in the second trailer, which then shows Link phasing through a wall. This could be one of the powers caused by the tears, granting him the ability to phase through walls as seen. And since Link doesn't hold a Sheikah Slate this time around, yet is seen using abilities like Stasis, this time through his hands, this could possibly be another power caused by the tears, or maybe his mysterious hand. Generally, it seems like Link will be powering himself up with old and new Sheikah-like abilities, but we don't exactly know what he's using to have those abilities. Overall, I think we can expect that the tears will play a major role in the story, outside just the title. Though hopefully they don't follow the same route that previous games took with collecting them, as both the Silent Realms and the Twilight Realms weren't the most fun way to collect them. Oh, and please don't get me started on Spirit Tracks and their Tears of Light. But I think in general this explains why Aonuma said that the title may spoil the game, as collecting these tears may be the main objective of the game. Of course, we still have yet to figure out on what has happened to Link's arm and the Master Sword. Oh, and let's not forget Zelda and the revival of Ganondorf, which were really only shown in the very first teaser and a little bit in the second, but not much else. I just really hope that Zelda will be more involved this time around and not just trapped waiting to be saved again. I mean, I feel like that haircut must have meant something. But overall, with this sequel taking Hyrule to new heights, there is so much to wonder on how this game will end up being. And hopefully, time will tell. But what do you guys think of the game so far, and how excited are you for it? Let me know in the comments below, and please leave a like to show your support. I want to thank everyone who has stuck around with me on this journey, and hopefully I will return the favor with more content. I know I have been so MIA in the last year or so, but trust me, this will hopefully be our year. Expect hopefully tons of content, as I really want to come back to this full time. And with Tears of the Kingdom around the corner, the hype is unreal. Overall, big changes are coming to the channel, and I'm hoping to really make a comeback. And speaking of changes, with YouTube's recent username change, giving everyone handles now similar to social media, I want to give a quick thanks to Fenrison for helping me secure the @ZeldaMaster handle. Now you should be able to find me much easier on YouTube thanks to having the correct handle as my username. While I don't really see why YouTube found it necessary to do this change, I'm just glad I have the proper name without having to compromise to something else. For instance, my Twitter handle is @ZeldaMasterLuke. This will be most likely how you'd find me on other social media if I didn't manage to get the handle in time. But speaking of which, you should definitely follow me on Twitter to get more updates than just my videos. So please just take 1 second and do that real quick, as it will help you stay connected in more than just YouTube. And I also plan on rebooting my Discord very soon, so please join it now before any major changes happen to the server. As overall, I have big plans leading to Tears of the Kingdom's release, and really want to find a way to connect with you guys who are interested. So please stay tuned for much more of me in the future. Again, I appreciate you sticking around this far. And as always, thanks for watching.